for joining us for another excellent edition of Live and Local here on QCTV. We are joining you from Emerald Pond Park in the beautiful city of Ramsey here. We have some wonderful guests joining us on the show as always, and a special QCTV update as well, featuring our very own Seamus Burke. We've got stories about Highway 10, other local businesses that you can support, and all the fun, great things going on in the city of Ramsey. So let's kick it off. Live and Local starting right now. Thank you so much again for joining us. I'm your host, Winter Kuharski, here on Live and Local. Our first guest joining us on the show today is Abby Prue. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So as a recreation coordinator, I'm sure that you are frequently in parks, like the beautiful space that we have here, and we've had some wonderful events take place this past summer. We had the Draw Summer Concert Series, we had that big slide for Party in the Park, and just give us a recap of all those fun events that we've had so far in the city of Ramsey.
Yeah, it's been definitely a busy summer. It's by far my favorite time of the year because I do have many more excuses to get out of the office and come spend time in beautiful places like this. This summer we carried on a few of our regular programs that have been popular, and then our big ones we've kind of revamped quite a bit. So one of the highlights of our summer was our Two Rivers Art Fair, formerly known as the Elmcrest Art Fair, but we moved it over to the Draw and expanded it quite a bit to include some more local musicians, some local organizations, some theater, and of course all of our great local artists and vendors.
Of course.
Our concert series we carried on as we have in the past. We saw a lot of great attendance this year and just wrapped that up last week with the fabulous Armadillos. And then we've kind of tested out a few different programs here and there with some community art programs and some new 55+ day trips that we've traveled around a few different places in the state to do some historic tours and just get outside and explore. So it's been a lot of fun.
I think probably my favorite addition, I mean, I'm not 55 yet, but is the addition of those 55+ outings. It's really, you know, that tailored group of individuals where it's, you know, I feel like a lot of park programs are, it's a missing demographic. And not every city has those programs that are specifically like, hey, we want everybody in our city to have, you know, programs that they know that they can enjoy, they can find other people, you know, form that community and just have a great time. I think the next one coming up is the New Ulm trip taken place yet, or is that still upcoming?
Yes, the New Ulm one is the one that we just did. That one was a lot of fun. I'm personally a big history buff and I learned a lot on that one. The next one that we have coming up is to Stillwater for a riverboat cruise, which that one's actually just about full. I want to say we only have 1 or 2 spots left.
Okay.
And then following that, we have one more booked for the season, and that one's a tundra swan migration tour just south of the Twin Cities in that Mississippi River kind of bluff area. It's a huge migration corridor for a lot of different species, so that'll be a highlight to have an expert come on the bus and join us and really walk us through a lot of that history.
Most definitely. That sounds so incredibly exciting. And if people want to sign up for those programs, you said there's only like 1 or 2 spots left. Where can they go to sign up for those programs? Yeah,
the best way to do it is on our website, and the quickest way to find that is to just do a Google search of City of Ramsey Parks and Recreation. It'll come up right there. There's a lot of little buttons on there that'll tell you to learn more or register. People can always reach out directly by calling our main lines, or they can always email parks@cityoframsey.com. We try to make it easy to reach us.
Of course, most definitely. And going back to the partnerships that you have with the Rum River Art Center and moving the Elmcrest Art Fair to the Two Rivers Art Fair, what a great partner that we have in the Rum River Art Center. They are featured not only in the city of Ramsey, but oftentimes on our Anoka programming as well. Was great attendance at the Art in the Park events. So what was so I guess it's not maybe first annual Two Rivers Art Fair, but how was the art fair this year?
It was fantastic. We lucked out with weather too. It was a little on the warm side, but otherwise clear. Both on our end and the Rum River Art Center end, we were of course a little bit nervous with all of the changes, but we were blown away by all of the positive feedback that we got. And we feel really good about those changes being made for that new location and having more of an open streets festival feel, and really focusing on working with local partners to add in those other entertainment and hands-on aspects.
Of course. And a lot of the events that we're mentioning, a good portion of them are free to the public. Is that right?
Yep.
So it's, bring the family, bring the kids. I know, especially the summer concert series, we actually had meant to get out and bring you some live coverage, but it was one and a half of the times the weather didn't quite cooperate for us. But if you are, looking for replays from previous years, I think it was Rhino was one of the concerts we were at last year. And it really is just, it's so easy to, bring up your camp chair or a blanket even. And again, that wide range of, I've seen little kids all up to, to the retirees, the foot tapping, and it's just a good time. It doesn't cost a thing.
No, it's a great excuse to get outside on a nice summer evening and connect with your neighbors and see what else is going on in the city. We've been trying to bring some more resources to let people know, too, at events like that, what other parks and recreation programs that we have coming up on the roster.
Perfect. And speaking of those other park and rec events, the big one coming up next weekend is Happy Days. And of course, the QCTV truck is going to be out there filming the parade, but the parade is only one portion of the entire Happy Days Festival. It starts early in the morning with a fun run, and I've been told there's going to be fireworks this year. Is that right?
Yes. Knock on wood, as long as weather cooperates, we do plan to have fireworks this year. You're right, we have a long day. It starts off pretty early in the morning with a youth fun run and a 5K. This year we have some really fun long sleeve shirts that we're going to be giving away with the 5K for those who are registered. Following that, we move right over to the Happy Days grounds, and we have things like the parade. We have the expo that features a lot of local organizations, businesses, crafts. We have a lot of fun new tents that'll be going up with activities. As mentioned before, the Rum River Art Center, they're going to be joining us and doing some free activities there.
Perfect.
Another new one that I personally am really excited about is Ninja Anywhere. We're bringing the inflatables back because they're always popular, but Ninja Anywhere is a new one that we're going to try out, which is kind of what it sounds like. It's a pop-up ninja course.
Okay.
We'll start it at a lower height in the morning for the young ones. And then as the day goes on, it'll be raised and raised to make it a little bit more difficult and make sure that the parents get a chance to jump in too.
Oh, that's fun. I literally was going to ask, what is Ninja Anywhere?
Yes.
I feel like you answered it very nicely there. I think, like, even as a spectator, that would be something fun to watch. So I'm guessing it's probably similar to the Ninja Warrior competitions. I see people, bouncing across the platforms and, climbing the bars on stuff. It's just a fun, entertaining thing to watch.
You can just imagine a little mini pop-up Ninja or American Ninja Warrior, and those ones will be selling wristbands for if you want to just try it out for half an hour, or for a little bit more, you can have unlimited runs all day, and the inflatables will be free as they have been.
Oh, perfect. And hearing that, I'm sure a lot of the parents out there, free inflatables, go children, go burn off your energy with all the candy that you've gotten from the Happy Days parade, of course. And it's the parade route. Where does it start? Where does that end? So if people want to, get their chairs out, their blankets, where's that parade route running?
That parade route will be the same as it was last year, and it will stick to that earlier time that we had last year, so 11 a.m. to about noon when it wraps up, and it'll be right along Sunwood in that section, kind of right behind City Hall and between the Happy Days grounds there.
Perfect. And if you do see the QCTV truck out there, make sure you wave. We'd love to put you on camera. It's we're kind of hard to miss. It says big old QCTV, and as a community station, we love seeing everybody's happy faces at Happy Days, of course. And I love that there's also the Happy Days sign as almost like it's there year round. So I just feel like it's a good, right across from City Hall, Happy Days, that smiling face, we love to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this year. It should be a really great one.
Well, I'm sad I'm going to be out of town this year during Happy Days. It's I feel that a lot of people say that, Labor Day is the end of summer, but I feel like the city of Ramsey says no, Happy Days is the last big festival before it gets
trying to get one more week in there.
Yes, just one more week we can do it. So you mentioned some fireworks, a fun run. What else does Happy Days have for us?
Yeah, we'll have a couple of other events kind of going on throughout the day. One of my other favorite ones is, of course, the dog show. That one's hard to dislike with all of the puppies there. We have a couple new categories this year. I think the one that I'm most excited for is the wiggliest tail.
Oh, I love that.
It's It's probably going to be a pretty tight competition.
Oh, I bet.
We also will have the car show going on that we've had every year. That will start setting up shortly after the parade. And then, of course, we have live music right before those fireworks. We have 2 bands this year. One is Jacuzzi Puma, and the next one is Free Fallin', a Tom Petty tribute, which I'm also personally very excited for.
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. And so the layout of the grounds, where does that live music happen on the grounds there?
Yes, that live music will happen in kind of the corner near where those large trees are, and that sign that you had mentioned, the little Happy Days one.
Perfect.
We do have a site map already up on our website.
Excellent.
So again, if you do a Google search for Ramsey Happy Days, it'll bring you right to that page, and we have a little tab on there if anybody wants to get that full visual and plan out their day.
Perfect. And you had mentioned the expo as well.
Yes.
So what sort of businesses are people expected to see and interact with at the Business Expo?
Yeah, it's a really large variety of groups at the expo, ranging from, we have a lot of local businesses there, we have some local nonprofits, some political groups, some craft vendors, and then a handful of kind of farmers market vendors as well. So it's another one where there's a little something for everybody. And if you have something that you're interested in having out there, we do actually have some spaces left.
Perfect.
And registration is open until the end of the day on Monday, so you can still get that last minute entry in there.
Perfect. And I'm sure that you guys are still also looking for volunteers, is that correct?
We are always looking for volunteers. I'll always find a spot for you. We love to have the community involvement and have people really be there the day of. So that information too, you can reach out to us or find on our website. We got a lot of different opportunities.
Like I said, I'm so sad to be out of town for Happy Days because it is really a great hometown festival. And Abby, thank you so much for giving us all those details about the upcoming Park and Rec events. Happy Days, of course. Stay tuned to QCTV. If you're not able to be in town for Happy Days, like I said, we are going to be filming that parade. But really, it's so much more fun if you're there in person. So thanks again, Abby, for giving us all those details, and looking forward to all the events through the rest of the summer here.
Yeah, us as well, and we hope to see you all out there.
Perfect. So it's a busy season in the city of Ramsey, and we mentioned all those Park and Rec events, and our very own Leslie Sauersmith actually had an opportunity to attend an intro to archery class, and we got the footage, so let's take a look.
Hey guys, I wanted to try something new lately, so I decided to go to the City of Ramsey's website, their Park and Rec page, and I decided to try out Intro to Archery. Let's go see how I did.
The fun thing for us as coaches is that first end when we actually teach them how to draw the bow and to release and shoot their first arrows. We see a lot of misses. We see the arrows go flying and the kids kind of go, oh wow. And then as we start to make adjustments as coaches, we start to see less arrows move beyond the target, and we see more hits on here. So that's like one of the most rewarding things for me as a coach, is being able to see improvement and help that, hope use the word, aha moment. That's one of our big things, is seeing those aha moments, or hearing a child on the line say yes when they hit the X. You know, it's super rewarding.
Hey Leslie, it was your first time shooting a bow. What'd you think?
I am weak. You have to be strong, and you're pulling back. It's like harder than, the tension is harder than you think. I think I did pretty well. My last one was in the blue. I don't remember when my third one was. I'm happy.
I just honestly, there's so much like self-improvement. I don't know if you put it that way, but I've learned so many lessons just coming up through it. And then being able to just help other people reach those, or like have like an aha moment, like they figure out something that transforms their shot for the better. Helping people get to that is so satisfying. It's so great. It's just really cool to watch.
The instructors were really nice and talked us through all of it, giving us tips on how to hold the bow, a good stance, and to think about the wind.
It's very windy, so it really affects things. I had some trouble shooting earlier because when you're at full draw, when you have all that weight, and then you're basically a sail, so it's really important to stay solid through the whole thing. But if you're blowing around like that, it makes a big difference. So yeah, the weather definitely, you have to take that into account. And like, there were times where I'd be up on the line and I'd just have to wait a solid 30 seconds for gusts to go by so I could actually have time. So a lot of it is thinking through how can I handle the weather, and yeah, I enjoyed that.
The grip here, it's a kind of
You know, just those simple things of holding the bow correctly and thinking about the wind, that really makes a big difference on how you shoot and if you even hit the target. So, just things that make sense once you actually know how the sport works.
Archery is really a fun lifetime sport. Something that's super easy to get into. You can always find a local pro shop. Go out there, try some different bows. Most of the pro shops do have programs for, like we did here, on an extended basis, more of the 6 to 8 week programs where we can really develop, you know, hunters, bow hunter, whether you're a bow hunter or just want to do it in your free time. You're 6 years old all the way up to 80 years old. We don't care. We'll come teach you how to do this sport. It's really rewarding. It's really fun.
Honestly, like, don't be afraid to be a beginner. Don't be afraid to be bad at it. I've been doing it for like over 10 years and I still have days where I'm bad at it. Nobody's perfect. So you just have to try. Just reach out, find a place and try, because you never know. Like, it could be the greatest thing you do.
Try archery. Reach out to local pro shop. Go have fun. Go shoot some arrows. Even if you don't own equipment, most shops have free equipment that you can use to do it. Go try it. It's a lot of fun.
The City of Ramsey hosts a variety of programs and activities that will bound to match one of your interests. So you should go check out the City of Ramsey's website and sign up for something, because it's always fun to try something new.
Leslie and I both had such a great time at that archery event, and if you've not tried archery, as she said, it's pretty easy to pick up, and it's one of the many park and rec events offered in the City of Ramsey, and we're glad that we were able to film it. So our next guest joining us, we're going to switch gears over to the Economic Development Authority Chair, Scott Weininger. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Winter.
So since this is your first time on Live and Local, we'd like to get to know you a little bit. I'm sure that if people have been watching QCTV, we film those early morning EDA meetings and we see your face, but let's learn a little bit more about who is Scott.
Yeah, I'd love to share. So my wife and I moved to Ramsey here almost 3 years ago. We've been a part of the Ramsey committee or community here for almost 13 years. My kids started when my oldest was just in kindergarten at Pack Charter School, and so we made the commute into Ramsey and finally decided this is our home. We love it here. So I've got 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
My oldest is 18, just sent him off to college last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. 1 down, 3 to go. I've got twins that are seniors in high school. And then I've got a 12-year-old girl.
Fun.
Only one of those is my favorite. I'll let you guess which one.
I'm going to send them this tape and just be like, it's one of you. There's
It's
only
one of you. Yep. They all think it's them.
Of course they do, as kids should.
Yes.
So quite a robust family life you got there, and like you said, you decided that. So Ramsey's the place to be. So in addition to being closer to the schools, what other things drew you to the city of Ramsey?
Yeah, because the kids were always here. We got sucked into things that were happening at the draw with all of the different events and the music and the slides and all the things that were happening there. And we love the people of Ramsey. It's just, we've gotten to know so many over the last few years, and it's our community. It just, when it feels like home, it is.
That's so perfect. Love hearing that. And that love of community and home led you to want to become more involved in the city. So was there anything that, I'm sure the love for community, you already said it, that said, I want to be more involved. I want to have an impact, make some changes in my community, that led you to join the Economic Development Authority? Yeah,
so my passion is business. I spent the last 20 years in sales, and I'm a business broker, so helping people sell their businesses. But because of that, because of working with businesses so much, I sat and looked around our community, and I just wanted to find a place where I could help advocate for the businesses that are here. I know how hard it is to run a business, and I want to do anything that we can to make Ramsey a place where businesses want to invest in, and where they can just grow and flourish.
And I feel that the EDA has done an incredible job of doing that. Those meetings, they are a little bit early in the morning, but sometimes I feel like it's a good, fun, fresh way to start the day with you start the day and you're making progress on things, and you just have that positive way to have a Thursday morning once a month.
Yeah, we get to start thinking about Ramsey.
I love that. That is such we get to start thinking about Ramsey. I'm going to steal that one. I'm going to incorporate it into every other show. It's going to happen. Just you watch. So some of the projects that have come through that the EDA has advised the City Council on, there's a ton of them. We were speaking in between here about a multitude, and there's a couple that we want to highlight for sure. So take it away. What has the EDA been working on?
Man, it's been a busy season for the EDA. Sean Sullivan and Wendy Schleter and all of the EDA folks with the City of Ramsey have just, they work so hard.
They do.
And if you drive through Ramsey, there's construction happening and new businesses all over the place. One of them, right off of Ramsey Boulevard, is Jam Hops.
Jam Hops, okay.
Jam Hops is a gymnastics studio moving from a neighboring town into Ramsey. We're especially excited about this because this was land that the city had originally for all the ramps and things in that interchange, and it was no longer needed with the redesign. So we were able to talk with Jam Hops and put it's just a perfect place for it there.
I love that. It's like we realize that the construction is coming through and it's going to be changing things up, but also that the city is able to respond in a flexible way and make spaces for those businesses and put them in essentially a prime spot right off of Highway 10. People are driving by it, they're going to see it, they're going to know it's there, they're going to want to stop and like we say, well, what is Jam Hops? What is that? And check it out. We'd love to see it.
That's so great. And then I don't know if you've been down through the core lately, but there's so much happening in there.
There really is. I feel like every time I drive through, I'm in the core at least once a week for me. But there's always some construction going on. But what's going on this week?
Yeah. So recently, Chanticleer Grill went in. The Economic Development Authority was able to help them. The City Council and the residents have all said having a sit-down restaurant is so important to our community. Places where families can go and they can be families.
Yes.
And so the Economic Development Authority has a program where we will help them with their signage. And so we were able to help Chanticleer Grill with their signage. We're so excited to have them. Aldi, what a great turnout. There were over 200 people at the grand opening for Aldi.
I saw that on Facebook. Like, people were lining up.
All the way around.
Yeah, all the way around the corner. And there were giveaways. I think one of my favorite stories was like the first 10 or 15 people were just like high school boys that are like, we're going to get our group of friends together. We're going to be first in line at Aldi. And it's like, I wouldn't really expect that of high school boys to be so into a business opening, but truly that is the type of just community building aspect, like love of your city, that Ramsey inspires.
Absolutely. And we're proud to have an Aldi here. Across the street from them, we have the Home 2 Suites. That's going up. They're looking at opening here this winter. So we'll be off and running. And then there's some brand new machinery right across from City Hall.
Indeed, yeah.
And so there we've got the Skyline Apartments, an amenity-rich apartment building, 133 units. They're going to put, I think, a golf simulator in there and a rooftop patio, and it'll be like across from City Hall, two large buildings, kind of that urban feel that it was designed for.
It truly is. I feel like it's been wonderful watching Ramsey develop over the years and really dedicating the core and having this, structured way that that you want to build the core. So we're fortunate enough that we have historic downtown Anoka and these other communities that have these downtowns that have been there for forever. But really, Ramsey is like, we know what we want the core to look like. Let's make it happen, and it truly has been, just the architecture-wise, the variety of businesses that are coming through, and it's so wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's been great, and what I love about Ramsey is that we have that, and we have manufacturing projects that are happening, and we have the road construction coming through that's going to make this so accessible.
Yes.
There's so much happening.
Oh, for sure. And we have a package coming on Highway 10 coming up shortly, so we're not going to get too into the weeds about the construction project, Highway 10 construction that's going on. But the city crews also want to give them a shout out with all these construction projects going on, making sure that they're getting that signage up for the reroutes, and and that if folks do have questions about like, oh, what is going in over there, that, you know, they see the construction going on, they see those reroutes, where's a good spot for them to find out some more information about what is being built there?
Yeah, you can go to the City of Ramsey website. There you can choose economic development, and there's a whole list. There's a map of all the different projects that are there. Gives you all sorts of different access, and of course, with those businesses, go check them out and let's support them for sure.
Of course, and another way, of course, to get involved is also attending those EDA meetings.
We love it.
Because there's always the public comment, and the EDA is an advisory commission. I don't think there's not any openings on the EDA right now, is there?
There aren't any right now. Yep.
But I mean, you were just somebody who lived in the city of Ramsey and said, I want to be involved, and that is how you do it, is by being on these advisory commissions.
Yep. Yeah, each one of the advisory commissions, usually in the spring, will have openings, and it's people in our community who are choosing to step up and volunteer and give back to the community to make our community a better place, and we need more people to do that.
And we truly do, and sometimes even we will put you on live television and ask you questions about that. And thank you, Scott, for appearing on our live show. We've got a couple minutes here left. What would you say is your favorite part about either being on the EDA or just, you know, Ramsey in general, if you had to pick a favorite?
That's hard, Winter. That is so hard. I will say, and maybe because it's so recent, 2 weeks ago we had the Ramsey Business Appreciation event out at the Links of North Fork. We had about 160 people out there, and we had a golf event. We celebrated. We were able to select and celebrate a dynamic group as the Ramsey Business of the Year this year, and I love business, and I love celebrating business success, and what a success story they have been.
Yeah, it truly is, yeah. So, Scott, I want to thank you so much for appearing on Live and Local. We've enjoyed having you here, and
thanks so much.
Looking forward to seeing you again on those early morning meetings. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Excellent. So we did mention that Highway 10 construction, and we have an entire look at some of those businesses that you can support, and we do encourage you to do so. So let's take a look.
Hey Ramsey, let's talk about everybody's favorite subject,
Love it.
road construction. What? You mean you don't enjoy spending extra time in your car, having difficulty accessing the businesses you love, and never knowing if your route to work will be the same tomorrow? Okay. I get it. The Highway 10 construction is probably not anyone's favorite stretch of road to navigate. But as our good friend Pete Turok says, short-term pain, long-term gain. And yeah, it's a bit of a pain right now. Business owners especially could use community support. After airing our story in April about Aurelio's Pizza, Ramsey banded together to support Laugh for Aurelio's, a fundraising effort to help the struggling business. This incredible display of camaraderie demonstrates the city's dedication to supporting their neighbors and making an effort to sustain longtime businesses in the community. Other establishments in Sunfish Commons that would greatly benefit from that same community enthusiasm include King Kong Hobbies, Willie McCoy's, and Burritos Tacos. And just south on Highway 10, you could find Outpost Bar and Grill and Fetched Up. Snowmobile season will be here before you know it. Why not check out what Power Lodge has in store? Involved in an accident in the construction? The folks at Blue Line Collision will help repair your vehicle. And these are just a handful of the many businesses along Highway 10 that could really use your support. So take that U-turn. Give yourself a little extra time. And after all this is over, those businesses you know and love will still be there, providing the same great services they always have. So what do you say, Ramsey? Are you in this for the long-term gain?
So if you haven't been along Highway 10, which I'm sure as a Ramsey resident you are, make sure that you are checking out those local businesses. We just had lunch the other day at Burritos Tacos, and we have a package on them coming up soon. So it's got some great businesses along there, and we want to keep them in the city of Ramsey. Speaking of business in the city of Ramsey, we have the Connexus Energy interim CEO and VP, Brian Brandt. Thank you so much for joining us.
Winter, thank you for having me here today.
So people might not know that, Connexus is one of the big, business partners that we have in the city of Ramsey. It's right downtown, but people might not know what Connexus is. What is Connexus Energy?
Connexus Energy is the largest member-owned electric cooperative in the state of Minnesota. We serve 145,000 members in 8 counties.
Wow, so 145,000 members, and you mentioned that you are a cooperative. What makes a cooperative different from some other energy companies?
Being member-owned, we're governed by a member board of directors who sets our budget, sets our rates. We operate with a focus on the members' interests versus other utilities that are an investor-owned or a municipal utility.
Perfect. And we were talking beforehand here. It's like I've seen you out at some of our solar garden events, things like that. And solar is a big priority for Connexus and the city of Ramsey. So, what sort of solar projects, solar initiatives are taking place here in Ramsey?
So we have 2 solar projects within the city of Ramsey, and we'll be bringing on our 3rd project next year in 2025 on the skirt land as part of the closed Anoka-Ramsey landfill. That'll bring our total to 8 megawatts within the city of Ramsey. So that's the largest concentration of solar within our system. And each megawatt serves roughly 200 households on an average total. So we're excited to have partnered with Ramsey in doing our 3rd project here in town.
Perfect. And some of the criticisms that I've heard of solar is like, oh, well, it's Minnesota. It snows here. We certainly don't get enough sun. But that obviously isn't true if we're building a 3rd solar site in the city of Ramsey. So let's dispel some of those myths since we got the expert here on our show today.
Yeah, sure. So back when we started doing solar, we surveyed the members. We're a member-owned utility. We operate in the members' best interest. And we heard loud and clear there was an interest from the membership to do more renewables with the caveat, as long as it doesn't increase rates. The business model we have in deploying solar is to look for sites that have minimal other purposes, meaning they can't build a home on it. So it's marginal property with good interconnection, meaning we can come right from the road right away into the site, and we have load to be offset. Our solar projects are different than a lot in the fact that all the power stays locally. Nothing goes back onto the bulk system. So the solar projects in Ramsey serve Ramsey residents, and the projects we have done have actually helped lower our rates. We've had 1 rate increase in the last 6 years, and our renewable portfolio helps us maintain low rates and to have only the 1 rate increase in the last 6 years.
In the last 6 years, I don't really know of any other energy company that can make those claims, and it truly shows the dedication that Connexus has to those members. I mean, you are member-owned, and listening to the customer member owners, and it's fantastic to see that you're truly taking those comments to heart and providing the services that they're looking for. It's fantastic. What makes Ramsey the ideal spot for Connexus Energy?
There's 2 things that stand out. Being that we're a member-owned utility, we're close to our members in proximity. 2/3 of the membership reside within a half hour of Connexus, and no members more than 1 hour from our shop. So it's great to serve the members and us to respond to outages like we have right now going on. And number 2, access to workforce talent. A number of our employees, they want to live closer to Minneapolis or St. Paul, but there's a large number that you want to live here in Ramsey close by or live in more rural areas. So we're kind of equidistant between both for membership and also for employee talent, and that makes it a great location for us to be.
Fantastic. And so you'd mentioned some of those outages. We had a big storm roll through this last weekend, and I'm sure that nobody's happy, of course, when their power goes out. But what effort is Connexus Energy taking to make sure that we get those lights back on and that power going as quick as we can?
So what we have going currently, I've been with Connexus for 27 years, and this is the 2nd largest outage we've ever had. At the peak Monday night, we had over 20,000 members without power. We're now below 1,000. So we have what's called a dedicated major outage declaration, where all of our linemen are in working 16 hours, and we do joint service agreement where we call in line workers from across the state from other cooperatives. It's the collaboration amongst the cooperative brotherhood, sending their line workers there. So we had our full complement of crew and an equivalent amount of the same that rolled out again today as it did yesterday to restore power as quickly as possible in a safe and efficient manner.
Of course, fantastic. We love to hear it. And again, those statistics of 2 2 major outages in the last however many years. Again, I don't think that there's any other, electric company that can say they do that.
Yeah, this is that 20,000 members, and if you think 2.5 per home, that's 50,000 residents. So quantify the city of Ramsey going dark. That's about the amount of customers and load that we have out that occurred Monday night.
And so that is quite a storm, and of course, like you said, those linemen are working extremely hard to make sure we're getting that power back on, and we love to see the effort you guys are taking. So. So what would you say is your favorite thing about working with Conexus? And I mean, you are the co-CEO and VP. I know recently the CEO is retiring, stepping down, and you stepped into that role. So obviously this is an adventure that's important to you. So what are some of the highlights, your favorite parts?
I enjoy the fact the member ownership, serving the member owners. I live and work in Ramsey, serving reliably and affordably friends and family. I take a lot of pride in that. I mean, 27 years, I have a lot of passion for the things we do. The amount of renewables we've brought online to help hold costs down. Our members have a price advantage compared to some of the neighboring utilities, and our reliability for the last 6 years, we've been in the top 5 in the nation.
Wow.
So we really take to heart the member emphasis and serving the membership, and that's what I take a lot of pride in.
Fantastic. We love hearing it. So is there anything else about Conexus and the Ramsey community that you'd like to share since we have you on the show?
We appreciate the partnership being in Ramsey. Initially it was called the Ramsey Industrial Park. We were the anchor that came out to Ramsey. We moved from Anoka, and we've had a great partnership going back to 1997 when we moved out here from Anoka downtown.
Fantastic. Well, Brian, I want to thank you so much for sharing the details about Conexus Energy and all the efforts that the team over there is putting into getting everybody's power back and the dedication to renewables. Thank you so much for stopping out.
Hey, thank you, Winter. Appreciate it.
Excellent. So we've got some other great businesses, of course, that we wanted to highlight and some great events going on in the city of Ramsey. Corey Lang was recently at Game Fair this year and took some great footage. So let's take a look.
Game Fair returned to the city of Ramsey in 2024 and was a great turnout. Hey, whether you're into fishing, hunting, or anything in between, Game Fair is the place to be. We spoke with some of the amazing vendors who were selling their excellent products. So be sure to come next year to score some great gear. But hey, the real star of Game Fair this year, the dogs. So many amazing dogs.
Drum roll, drum roll. Good job, drum roll.
Take Bingo for example, running through his obstacle course like a pro. But hey, let's pause Bingo for just a second for what I like to call the dogs of Game Fair. If you missed Game Fair this year, no sweat. Be sure to mark your calendars for next year when Game Fair returns to the city of Ramsey in 2025.
For Donnelly. Rebels here at home. They could have some home games. Scores!
3 touchdowns, all to Pasuku. He's got one on the ground. What a great catch. Look at that.
Top of the face-off circle. She sends one low. Save is made. Follow-up shot. Score by Max. Whether or not that's...
Great look at a goal! through. You can see right there as Bernovic with the shot.
And of course, we do want to give a huge shout out to Ryan and the entire crew. There are several members, more than several, behind the cameras right now that are bringing you those live sports. And the fall sports season, believe it or not, has already started. And we've filmed games and we're bringing them to you. Of course, stay tuned to the QCTV Facebook, YouTube, and website for our live streaming games. And somebody who knows all about maintaining our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and our website page, we have our very own social media coordinator, Seamus Burke. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Winter. Good to get out of the office.
It is really good to get
outside.
It truly is. I feel like this interview, especially because we are coworkers and we do work together collaboratively with the entire team at QCTV every single day. It's a fun change of pace to have a conversation on camera. Recently, if you have watched the post, we have incorporated our community calendar, which you have starred on as well, bringing us the events in the upcoming week. And I noticed also that you've brought, I want to say, a friend with you today. Who is the friend that you've brought with?
Our friend that we brought is a Telly Award, and for viewers at home who might not know, the Tellys are a national awards body recognizing excellence in television programming nationwide. And we were lucky enough to receive, I believe, 6 Tellys this year, including our first ever Gold Telly and our first Telly for this new version of Live and Local that we've been doing for the last few years. So we're really excited to bring the Telly on Live and Local here to share with the community and to thank everybody for their support of Live and Local. The Post also won a Telly for the program overall, which is really exciting for us. And if there's a full list of the exact programs awarded on our website at qctv.org/awards. And hopefully tonight we will be hearing about some new awards from NATOA, which is one of our peer organizations. We're nominated for a few awards with NATOA as well.
I was just going to mention that our executive director, Karen George, is out in on the East Coast,
South Carolina.
South Carolina, thank you. I wanted to say Richmond, and I knew that wasn't correct. She's currently in South Carolina representing the QCTV team, hopefully taking home some hardware tonight. Fingers crossed. Of course, we'll post the results on our website as well. And maybe next time we have Seamus on, we'll have some NATOA statuettes with us as well.
We will, and we do know with NATOA we actually received an award of honor for overall excellence. So that's one that we and actually CTN and Coon Rapids are co-recipients of an overall excellence award from NATOA, which is really wonderful.
And overall excellence, I feel, is one of those probably, I mean, of course, we're proud of all the nominations and awards that we received, but basically overall excellence is saying that everybody that contributes to our programming, if it's sports, it's the Post, it's the Chamber Show, it's, a district court show. I mean, you can go on our website, of course, and see all the different shows that we have going on. Is that it's basically a national recognition of saying the programming that we provide for our communities, it's good stuff.
Right, and it's always nice to get those overall excellence, and for programs like the Post and Live and Local, where the whole show is recognized.
Of course.
It does show how talented our entire crew is, and it's great. It's really exciting, and not to pat ourselves on the back too much, but it just makes us feel really good about what we're doing for our community.
It really does, and that's why I continue to draw attention to the so many people behind the camera that you don't see. Like I said, like Seamus and Corey and Karen and I, we are kind of the faces, the hosts of QCTV, but there is an entire crew. We've got, I almost want to call them out by name, behind the camera. So we've got Leslie, we've got Mark, and we've got John, and Pat, and Trinity, and Ryan. They're all on the truck. And Mark, so many people that you might just see them in those credits, but it is a group effort here at QCTV, and we greatly appreciate everybody bringing their best to work every single day. I'm getting some hearts behind camera too. I mean, and it truly shows that this is, the hometown source, and people, and they truly, we like what we do here.
Right.
It's fantastic. And speaking of those sports and all of the work that goes into that, we have a big game coming up tomorrow.
We do. We have the annual Battle for the Paddle Tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Anoka High School is going to play Champlin Park at Champlin Park. We're going to be bringing you all of that action live, streaming on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QCTV, our website, qctv.org/live, and you can always, of course, watch it after on our website or our YouTube channel if you can't make it. It's one of our biggest games of the year, and for folks in Ramsey here, a lot of their kids, of course, go to Anoka High School. So it's not only is it two of our cities playing each other, it's it's great because our whole audience is people that are QCTV fans.
It truly is, like you mentioned, two of our cities, Ramsey and Anoka. Hopefully the weather holds. We are, of course, keeping an eye on things. Updates, of course, will be listed on our Facebook page. And who is it that puts those notices out on Facebook, Seamus? Who's the one doing that? It's this guy right here. It's not some hired third party. It's not some random. It's our very own Seamus Burke. And sometimes we even get to strong arm him into having a conversation with him.
Well, it's an honor and a privilege.
Oh, thank you, Seamus. Truly, it's wonderful working with you as well. So in addition to that battle for the paddle, we've got Happy Days coming up. What are some of the other events coming up in the next couple weeks here that QCTV is covering?
Happy Days for Ramsey is a big one. Fall sports we cover Andover, Anoka, and Champlin Park High School. We cover volleyball, football, and soccer. This year we're actually ramping up our production a little bit. We're going to be some nights, including tomorrow night, covering 2 football games at the same time, which is extraordinary and really exciting. And a big thanks to Ryan and Pat and CJ for figuring out how to make that possible. Of course, the big behemoth coming down, the great pumpkin that's about to rise out of the sky, rise into the sky is Anoka Halloween. We'll have lots of coverage of those festivals, and you can stay tuned for that. We also have a new thing that we're offering is we have sponsorship opportunities. So if any viewers at home are interested in sponsoring any of our programs, the Post, festivals, sports, the Chamber Report, any of our programs, you can reach out to me personally, and I would love to talk to any businesses interested in getting some extra publicity to sponsor some of our programs.
Of course, yeah. It's a great way to essentially, with that sponsorship, I mean, how many times do you watch a sports game and you see along the boards of hockey, you see all these businesses? That could be you, and it wouldn't just be on our sports programming. It would be every time somebody views the Chamber Report or any of the programs that we have going on. Like I said, it's a simple conversation with Seamus. We've got lots of opportunities available, and I'm thinking maybe especially some of those Highway 10 businesses.
Yeah,
it's another outlet, another opportunity that we have to support those in our community and really get the word out and say, hey, these guys are here. That's who you want to be doing business with.
Right. It's a great new way not only for us to get some support from our community from a financial standpoint, but to also give something back. And our philosophy is we're piloting this sponsorship program is that we want it to be useful to the business. So as it's a new program, we're open to suggestions from potential sponsors. We're open to discussing what perks work for you because we want to make it something that you find valuable and that you and your business feel that you get a lot out of.
Of course, of course. So we mentioned the Great Pumpkin. We've got Happy Days coming up. Again, what are those sports that we're covering this fall? We've volleyball,
football, and soccer.
And soccer, perfect. And on some nights, even 2 games.
That's right.
We've got the big truck shoot crew and also the light shoot crew. Again, just really shouting out the amount of talent that we have here. And then, of course, back at the studio, CJ on master control, making sure that all the signals are going out. Even if we do have some power outages, too, like we had, coming in, checking on those signals, making sure that that grandma that lives in Arizona is able to watch her kids, either Anoka or Champlin, tomorrow night for a battle for the paddle. And just, bringing that great programming, whether you live in our member cities or not.
And the last thing I'll say, and the best way to keep up with all that great programming
Where do we do that, Seamus?
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're at Quad Cities TV on Meta platforms, and we're at QCTV on YouTube and Twitter. And if you're watching on YouTube right now, subscribe button is right down there.
Click
if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe so you don't miss the latest stories or games.
And click the notification bell.
That's right. You won't miss a minute.
There's no possible way to. Seamus, I want to thank you so much for indulging me in maybe a little bit of silliness here on the end of Live and Local, but it adds into that, just comfortable hometown feel that, we're real people here that live here, that work here, and we love doing what we do. So thank you so much, Seamus, for being on the show, and I'll see you back in the office once we're cleaned up here.
Thanks for letting me crash the show, and I'll see you back at the office.
I'll see you back at the office. We do have a quick preview of that Battle for the Paddle game that's coming up, and also another business that we'd like to highlight called Burritos Tacos. Billy and Corey were out getting some delicious tacos and some wonderful footage, so let's take a look.
Just off of Highway 10 in Ramsey is the city's #1 spot for authentic Mexican cuisine. After starting as a food truck, Burritos Tacos grew to be known as one of the most popular street taco trucks in the area. And now for the last year, Burrito has been serving up the residents of Ramsey from their new sit-down restaurant off of Sunfish Avenue.
When I make my food truck, a couple of friends, they tell me, hey, where we can find a Mexican food, maybe different kind of tacos, authentic tacos. The tacos we make over here is a fresh meat. We cook every morning. The processes to make the food is a little longer. For example, the barbacoa, this is the meat we sell more popular, between 2 hours to 3 hours to cook. When they first time they see my tacos, #1 is the cilantro, lime radish, like traditional style Mexican tacos. Some people they surprised because they see very simple tacos, but when they try, wow, they are so excited to eat it.
Of course, the biggest challenge facing the business today is the construction of the new bridge on Sunfish Avenue, making accessibility difficult for customers. But Burrito remains optimistic for the future and appreciates the construction workers who have become regular customers throughout their workday.
When I rented this place, I know because the new bridge is coming, and I know sometimes it's very difficult to the people that coming over here. But I see a lot of workers for the construction. They work so hard to make the progress to be finished this year. The workers, they coming over here to eat in the morning. They try to support this business too, It's so nice for this guy. And I know the business is coming a little down, but we can handle it.
For the time being, access to Burritos Tacos and other businesses off of Sunfish and Highway 10 is limited to a U-turn heading north on the highway just past Sunfish Avenue. Keep up with all Highway 10 updates on MDOT's website, and make sure to keep supporting small businesses like Burritos Tacos while construction continues.
I like to see people very often, and I like to talk to everyone when they come, because I see the faces when they live. And it's pretty nice, because they try to do something so different. But thank you for everyone to come in to enjoy our food. This is what we do over here in Burritos Tacos.
Well, that has wrapped up our latest edition of Live and Local. I want to thank every single guest that stopped out here at beautiful Emerald Pond Park. If you have not stopped out here, there's a beautiful walking trail, there's sports fields. I can see people actually behind the camera. They've got their dogs out. People have been walking on our trail, and this beautiful pergola structure behind this. And
Emerald Pond Park is only one of the many dozens, I would say, parks in the city of Ramsey. We have a very robust trail system here. Those park and rec events, I feel like, yes, we've had an hour-long show, and it doesn't even scratch the surface on the community that we have formed here through park and rec events, through the advisory commissions, through our business community. Basically, I feel the thing that we've heard throughout the entire show here is that Ramsey is made such of a wonderful place because of the residents that are here and that wonderful sense of community that they like to bring, and get to do it in this wonderful space that we have here. So again, thank you to all of my guests that appeared on Ramsey Live and Local. And I'll say it one more time, just in case you didn't catch it earlier in our episode. If you want to stay up to date with all things QCTV, make sure that you are checking out our website, QCTV.org. You're liking us on Facebook, you're checking us out on Instagram, and of course, subscribing on YouTube for youtube.com/QCTV. And we're also on X. There's so many ways to stay informed, stay involved with all four of our cities, Anoka, Champlin, Ramsey, and Andover. Our next edition of Live and Local will be coming to you later this year. We're going to be focusing on the city of Anoka. Our producer, Billy Austin, is going to be heading that one up, so stay tuned to that. Of course, it makes sense to have the Anoka Live and Local in the month of October to focus on all things Halloween. But that wraps it up from the city of Ramsey. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will catch you next time on Live and Local.
Live and Local's in September, winter. It's the day before October, but it's still September.
Going into October.
Well.